चलिए मॉड्यूल से प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन में क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड पीरियर टू मेडिकल एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स 2005 का क्वेश्चंस कर लेते हैं। क्वेश्चन 42 विच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग ग्रुप ऑफ एनिमल्स रिप्रोड्यूसेस ओनली बाय सेक्सुअल मीन्स। जी हाँ, टीनोफोरा ग्रुप्स ऑफ एनिमल्स है जो कि रिप्रोड्यूसेस करता है ओनली बाय सेक्सुअल मीन्स। जी हाँ, टीनोफोरा ग्रुप्स ऑफ एनिमल्स है जो कि रिप्रोड्यूसेस करता है ओनली बाय सेक्सुअल मीन्स। क्वेश्चन 43 ट्यूब फिट आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ। जी हाँ, ट्यूब फिट आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ स्टारफिश। जी हाँ, ट्यूब फिट आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ स्टारफिश। Question 44 among the following organisms point out a completely non-parasitic form। जी हाँ, सी एनेमोन completely non-parasitic फॉर्म है। जी हाँ, सी एनेमोन completely non-parasitic फॉर्म है। Question 45 which of the following is an example of platyhelminthes। जी हाँ, एस्किस्टोसोमा एक एग्जाम्पल है प्लेटीहेलमिंथस का। जी हाँ, एस्किस्टोसोमा एक एग्जाम्पल है प्लेटीहेलमिंथस का। क्वेश्चन 46 रेडियल सिमेट्री इज यूजुअली exhibited by animals which। जी हाँ, रेडियल सिमेट्री is usually exhibited in animals which are attached to the substratum। जी हाँ, रेडियल सिमेट्री is usually exhibited in animals which are attached to the substratum। Question 47 one of the special character of phylum Coelenterata only is the occurrence of। जी हाँ, one of the special character of phylum Coelenterata only is the occurrence of nematocytes। जी हाँ, one of the special character of phylum Coelenterata only is the occurrence of nematocytes। Question 48 which of the following does not have an open circulatory system। Options are califer, prawn, cockroach, frogs, tadpole। जी हाँ, frogs tadpole does not have an open circulatory system। जी हाँ, frogs tadpole does not have an open circulatory system। Question 49 the neurogenic heart is the characteristic feature of। जी हाँ, the neurogenic heart is the characteristic feature of invertebrates। जी हाँ, the neurogenic heart is the characteristic feature of invertebrates। Question 50 in silkworm silk is the product of। जी हाँ, in silkworm silk is the product of salivary gland of the larva। जी हाँ, in silkworm silk is the product of salivary gland of the larva। Question 51 the organisms attached to the substratum generally possess। जी हाँ, the organisms attached to the substratum generally possess radial symmetry। जी हाँ, the organisms attached to the substratum generally possess radial symmetry। Question 52. Benthic animals are those which। जी हाँ, benthic animals are those which are deep dweller in sea। जी हाँ, benthic animals are those which are deep dweller in sea। Question 53. The formation of canal system in sponges is due to। जी हाँ, the formation of canal system in sponges is due to folding of inner walls। जी हाँ, the formation of canal system in sponges is due to folding of inner walls। Question 54. The nephridia in earthworm are analogous to। जी हाँ, the nephridia in earthworm are analogous to phloem cells of planaria। जी हाँ, the nephridia in earthworm are analogous to phloem cells of planaria। Question 55. Xylem is found between the cavity of। जी हाँ, xylem is found between the cavity of ectoderm and enododerm। जी हाँ, xylem is found between the cavity of ectoderm and enododerm। Question 56. Which of the following statement is without exception for sponges? जी हाँ, they have a high regeneration power statement is without exception for sponges। जी हाँ, they have a high regeneration power statement is without exception for sponges। Question 57. The embryonated egg of Ascaris represents। जी हाँ, the embryonated egg of Ascaris represents an egg with a juvenile। जी हाँ, the embryonated egg of Ascaris represents an egg with a juvenile। Question 58. What is the common among silverfish, scorpion, crab, and honeybee? जी हाँ, jointed leg is common among silverfish, scorpion, crab, and honeybee। जी हाँ, jointed leg is common among silverfish, scorpion, crab, and honeybee। Question 59. Most appropriate term to describe the life cycle of Obelia is। जी हाँ, most appropriate term to describe the life cycle of Obelia is metagenesis। जी हाँ, most appropriate term to describe the life cycle of Obelia is metagenesis। Question 60. Selenocytes are the main excretory structure in। जी हाँ, selenocytes are the main excretory structure in Platyhelminthes। जी हाँ, selenocytes are the main excretory structure in Platyhelminthes. Question 61. Temperature changes in the environment affect most of the animals which are. जी हाँ, temperature changes in the environment affect most of the animals which are poikilothermic. जी हाँ, temperature changes in the environment affect most of the animals which are poikilothermic. Question 62. The process of a series of changes from larva to adult after embryonic development is. जी हाँ, the process of a series of changes from larva to adult after embryonic development is metamorphosis. जी हाँ, the process of a series of changes from larva to adult after embryonic development is metamorphosis. Question 63. Similarity in Ascaris lumbricoides and Anopheles stephen's. जी हाँ, similarity in Ascaris lumbricoides and Anopheles stephen's sexual dimorphism. जी हाँ, similarity in Ascaris lumbricoides and Anopheles stephen's sexual dimorphism. Question 64. Which statement is correct? जी हाँ, Carl on Prest deciphered the communication method in honeybee statement is correct. जी हाँ, Carl on Prest deciphered the communication method in honeybee statement is correct. Question 65. Which of the following animals have scattered cells with shell tissue grid organization? जी हाँ, Hydra have scattered cells with shell tissue grid organization. जी हाँ, Hydra have scattered cells with shell tissue grid organization. Question 66. Blastopore is the pore of. जी हाँ, Blastopore is the pore of Archinteron. जी हाँ, Blastopore is the pore of Archinteron. Question 67. In Hydra, waste material of food digestion and nitrogenous waste material are removed from. जी हाँ, in Hydra, waste material of food digestion and nitrogenous waste material are removed from mouth and body wall. जी हाँ, in Hydra, waste material of food digestion and nitrogenous waste material are removed from mouth and body wall. Question 68. In which of the following hemocyanin pigment is found? जी हाँ, hemocyanin pigment is found in lower invertebrates. जी हाँ, hemocyanin pigment is found in lower invertebrates. Question 69. In which animal nerve cells are present but brain is absent? जी हाँ, in Hydra, nerve cells are present but brain is absent. जी हाँ, in Hydra, nerve cells are present but brain is absent. Question 70. Which one of the following is a matching pair of an animal and a certain phenomenon it exhibits? जी हाँ, mollusk का complete metamorphosis is a matching pair of an animal and a certain phenomenon it exhibits. जी हाँ, mollusk का complete metamorphosis is a matching pair of an animal and a certain phenomenon it exhibits. Question 71. Ommatidia serve the purpose of photoreception in? जी हाँ, ओमाटीरिया सर्व the purpose of photoreception in cockroach. जी हाँ, ओमाटीरिया serve the purpose of photoreception in cockroach. Question 72. During the life cycle, Fasciola hepatica, that is liver fluke, infects its intermediate host and primary host at the following larval stages respectively. जी हाँ, during the life cycle, Fasciola hepatica, that is liver fluke, infects its intermediate host and primary host at the following larval stages respectively: Miracidium and Metasarcaria. Miracidium and Metasarcaria. Question 73. Cycon belongs to a group of animals which are best described as? जी हाँ, Cycon belongs to a group of animals which are best described as multicellular without any tissue organization. जी हाँ, Cycon belongs to a group of animals which are best described as multicellular without any tissue organization. Question 24. Which one of the following is not correctly matched? Options are Gelassuna palpalis का मैचिंग स्लीपिंग सिकनेस से, क्यूलेक्स पाइपिन्स का मैचिंग फिलारिएशिस से, एडिस इजिप्टी का मैचिंग येलो फीवर से, एनोफिलीज क्यूलिफेसियस की मैचिंग लिशमानियासिस से. जी हाँ, नॉट करेक्ट मैच्ड इज एनोफिलीज क्यूलिफेसियस का लिशमानियासिस से. Question 25. The animals with bilateral symmetry in young stage and radial pentamerous symmetry in the adult stage belong to the phylum? जी हाँ, the animals with bilateral symmetry in young stage and radial pentamerous symmetry in the adult stage belong to the phylum Echinodermata. जी हाँ, the animals with bilateral symmetry in young stage and radial pentamerous symmetry in the adult stage belong to the phylum Echinodermata. Question 76. In Arthropoda, head and thorax are often fused to form cephalothorax, but in which one of the following classes the body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen? जी हाँ, in Arthropoda, head and thorax are often fused to form cephalothorax, but in Insecta, the body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. जी हाँ, in Arthropoda, head and thorax are often fused to form cephalothorax, but in insecta, the body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. Question 77. Which one of the following has an open circulatory system? जी हाँ, Periplannata has an open circulatory system. जी हाँ, Periplannata has an open circulatory system. Question 78. Which one of the following is not a living fossil? Options are Peripatus, king crab, Sphinodon, Archaeopteryx. जी हाँ, Archaeopteryx is not a living fossil. जी हाँ, Archaeopteryx is not a living fossil. Question 79. Biological classification starts with. जी हाँ, biological classification starts with submicroscopic molecule level. जी हाँ, biological classification starts with submicroscopic molecule level. Question 80. Peripatus is a connecting link between. जी हाँ, Peripatus is a connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda. जी हाँ, Peripatus is a connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda. चलिए अब सेक्शन डी नीट बूस्टर क्वेश्चंस कर लेते हैं. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. एन एडाप्टेशन टू मोटाइल एंड sedentary life cycle is dash dash and dash dash symmetry respectively. जी हाँ, an adaptation to motile and sedentary life cycle is bilateral and radial symmetry respectively. जी हाँ, an adaptation to motile and sedentary life cycle is bilateral and radial symmetry respectively. Question second. A key evolutionary development seen for the first time in the sponges is. जी हाँ, a key evolutionary development seen for the first time in the sponges is multicellularity. Question third. Read the statements A and B given below and choose the correct answer. जी हाँ, in insects, blood has no role in transportation of oxygen and there is no link between respiratory and circulatory system is correct. जी हाँ, in insects, blood has no role in transportation of oxygen and there is no link between respiratory and circulatory system is correct. And explanation. The cuticle lined trachea are the tubes carrying oxygen directly to the tissue in insects भी correct है. And explanation. The cuticle lined trachea are the tubes carrying oxygen directly to the tissue in insects भी correct है. Question 4. What evidence suggests that arthropods are closely related to annelids? जी हाँ, metameric segmentation is present in arthropods and annelids, suggest that both are closely related to each other. जी हाँ, metameric segmentation is present in arthropods and annelids, suggest that both are closely related to each other. Question 5. In adult insects, जी हाँ, in adult insects, three pairs of jointed legs are attached to thorax. जी हाँ, in adult insects, three pairs of jointed legs are attached to thorax. Question 6. Key evolutionary advances of the flatworms are bilateral symmetry and जी हाँ, key evolutionary advances of the flatworms are bilateral symmetry and internal organs. जी हाँ, key evolutionary advances of the flatworms are bilateral symmetry and internal organs. Question 7. Complete the following analogy. Fluke, schistosomiasis, filaria worm, dash dash. जी हाँ, Fluke, schistosomiasis, filaria worm, elephantiasis. जी हाँ, Fluke, schistosomiasis, filaria worm, elephantiasis. Question 8. Which of the following nematode is viviparous and cause muscular pain and stiffness? जी हाँ, ट्राइकाइनेला nematode is viviparous and causes muscular pain and stiffness. जी हाँ, ट्राइकाइनेला nematode is viviparous and causes muscular pain and stiffness. Question 9. Given below are types of cells present in some animals. Each one is specialized to perform a single specific function, except जी हाँ, given below are types of cells present in some animals. Each one is specialized to perform a single specific function, यानी कि काइनोसाइट्स, नेमेटोसाइट्स, गैस्ट्रोडर्मल सेल्स एक्सेप्ट आर्कायोसाइट्स. जी हाँ, given below are types of cells present in some animals. Each one is specialized to perform a single specific function, यानी कि काइनोसाइट्स, नेमेटोसाइट्स, गैस्ट्रोडर्मल cells except archaeocytes. Question 10. Which of the following is a false with respect to genus name slash its two characteristics slash phylum? First option, genus name Physalia. Two characteristics में first, nidocytes present और second, exhibit metagenesis. Phylum या class, Nidaria. Tinoplana का characteristic absence of nidocyst. Sexual reproduction is seen. Phylum slash class Tinophora. Genus name Phyla का characteristic first, radula present, second, unsegmented body with distinct head, muscular foot and visceral hump. Phylum slash class is Mollusca. Genus Octopus characteristic first, radula present, second, cell present और class या phylum Mollusca. जी हाँ, false with respect to their genus name and its two characteristics slash phylum is radula present, second, shell present and phylum Mollusca या class. Question 11. Which of the following is incorrect with respect to animal slash class its circulatory system and respiratory organ? Options are animal, scorpion, circulatory system open, respiratory organ, book lungs. Animal, scorpion, circulatory system open, respiratory organ, book lungs. Crustaceans, circulatory system open, respiratory organs, gills. Crustaceans, circulatory system open, respiratory organs, gills. Lemurus, circulatory system open, respiratory organs, book gills. Lemurus, circulatory system open, respiratory organs, book gills. Land snail, circulatory system open, respiratory organ, trachea. जी हाँ, incorrect with respect to animal class. Its circulatory system and respiratory organ is the land snail. Circulatory system open, respiratory organs, trachea. Question 12 given below for matching of animal and their excretory organs. Solve कीजिए इसको. Question 13. Which one of the following sets of items in options 1 to 14 is not correctly characterized with an exception in it? Question 14. Identify the animal in photograph below. Which of the following is an incorrect reason for its identification? Question 15. Identify A, B, C, and D marked in the following chart. The correct option A, B, C, and D is. जी हाँ, टास्क सेल, डेंटालियम, ए मोलस्क. जी हाँ, टास्क सेल, डेंटालियम, ए मोलस्क. Silverfish, Lepisma, an insect. Silverfish, Lepisma, an insect. Silili, Antidon, Echinoderma. Silili, Antidon, Echinoderma. Berren coral, Mindrina, Nidarian. Berren coral, Mindrina, Nidarian. Question 16. Select an organism which is exclusively marine, without brain, box, and in whom notochord extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout life. जी हाँ, ब्रांकियोस्टोमा is exclusively marine, without brain, box, and in whom notochord extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout life. जी हाँ, ब्रांकियोस्टोमा is exclusively marine, without brain, box, and in whom notochord extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout life. Question 17. Blood in the circulatory system of an annelid. Example, earthworm. जी हाँ, blood in the circulatory system of an annelid. Example, earthworm stays within the circulatory system. जी हाँ, blood in the circulatory system of an annelid. Example, earthworm stays within the circulatory system. Question 18. The type of body cavity seen in the roundworm is called. जी हाँ, the type of body cavity seen in the roundworm is called pseudocoelom, partially open fluid-filled body cavity which develops from the blastocell. जी हाँ, the type of body cavitation in the roundworm is called pseudocoelom, partially open fluid-filled body cavity which develops from the blastocell. Question 19. Ctenophores differ from cnidarians in having. The ctenophores differ from the cnidarians in having only sexual reproduction. The ctenophores differ from the cnidarians in having only sexual reproduction. Question 20. The echinoderms that lack distinct arms are. The echinoderms that lack distinct arms are the she urchins. The echinoderms that lack distinct arms are the she urchins. Question 21. A study of the animal kingdom presents a variety of excretory structures. Which one of the following is an incorrect match of the organism and its excretory structure? Options are Hirudinaria, Nephridia, Tinea flamcells, Lacifer malpighian tubules, Pinctada coxal gland. जी हाँ, Pinctada coxal gland incorrect match है. Question 22. Which of the following groups of animals have closed circulatory system? जी हाँ, Cephalopod, mollusks and archworm are the groups of animals have closed circulatory system. जी हाँ, Cephalopod, mollusks and archworm are the groups of animals have closed circulatory system. Question 23. Which of the following groups of animals possess completely tube within tube body plan? जी हाँ, Eschyhelminthus groups of animals possess completely tube within tube body plan. जी हाँ, Eschyhelminthus groups of animals possess completely tube within tube body plan. Question 24. Coelom derived from blastocell is known as. जी हाँ, coelom derived from blastocell is known as pseudocoelom. जी हाँ, coelom derived from blastocell is known as pseudocoelom. Question 25. Both schizocoelomates and enterocoelomates are categorized as. जी हाँ, both schizocoelomates and enterocoelomates are categorized as true coelomates. जी हाँ, both schizocoelomates and enterocoelomates are categorized as true coelomates. Question 26. Which one of the following cannot be taken as the character of non-chordates? Options are absence of notochord, gill islets are absent, chitinous exoskeleton, heart is ventral. जी हाँ, can't be taken as the character of non-chordates is heart is ventral. Question 25. Column second below consists of a brief description of organisms. In column 1, which of the following is incorrect match between column 1 and column second? First option, millipede, a terrestrial organism with two pairs of jointed appendages attached to each of its many body segments and respires through trachea. First option, millipede, a terrestrial organism with two pairs of jointed appendages attached to each of its many body segments and respires through trachea. Second option, Nereis, numerous setae on lateral appendages called parapodia. Second option, Nereis, numerous setae on lateral appendages called parapodia. Tinea solium का matching body is covered with cuticle, alimentary canal absent. Tinea solium का matching body is covered with cuticle, alimentary canal absent. Option 4, Tinophores radially symmetrical, devoid of nidoblast. The polyp stage present in their life cycle is a wrong statement. Question 28. The appropriate sequence of numbered animals from column second matching with the sequence of larva in column first is Pelanula का matching Ovelia. Pelanula का matching Ovelia. Golochidium की मैचिंग मार्सेल से. Golochidium की मैचिंग मार्सेल से. नाउपाइलस की मैचिंग कैरब से. नाउपाइलस की मैचिंग कैरब से. सिस्टी सर्कस का मैचिंग टीनिया सोडियम से. सिस्टी सर्कस का मैचिंग टीनिया सोडियम से. Question 29. Which of the following statement is incorrect? First, receptors for taste are located in the feet of many insects. Second, the development of echinoderms include a free-swimming Dipelura larva. Phloem cells in flatworms are for excretion and osmoregulation. For alternation of asexual and sexual phases in life cycle of Hydra is called metagenesis. जी हाँ, incorrect statement is alternation of asexual and sexual phases in life cycle of Hydra is called metagenesis. Question 30. Canal system of Porifera is not connected with. Options are food gathering, respiratory gas exchange, removal of waste, and locomotion. The canal system of Porifera is not connected with locomotion. Question 30, statement 1. Conocytes are characteristic cells of Porifera. Correct है, बाकी second incorrect है. Question 32. Which of the following statement is without exception for sponges? They have high regenerative power is a statement that is without exception for sponges. Question 33. In Hydra, waste material after digestion and nitrogenous waste material are removed from. In Hydra, waste material after digestion and nitrogenous waste materials are removed from mouth and body wall respectively. In Hydra, waste material after digestion and nitrogenous waste materials are removed from mouth and body wall respectively. Question 34. Obelia is characterized by. Ovelia is characterized by ciliated free-swimming planula larva, metagenesis, and statocytes present in medusoid stage. जी हाँ, ओवेलिया is characterized by ciliated free-swimming planula larva, metagenesis, and statocytes present in medusoid stage. Question 35. Biradial symmetry and lack of cnidoblasts are the characteristics of. जी हाँ, bilateral symmetry and a lack of cnidoblasts are the characteristics of Tinoplana and Pleurobrachia. जी हाँ, bilateral symmetry and a lack of cnidoblasts are the characteristics of Tinoplana and Pleurobrachia. Question 36. The presence of a special sense organ, statocytes, at the opposite end of the mouth that is avoral end is the characteristic of. The presence of a special sense organ, statocytes, at the opposite end of mouth that is avoral end is the characteristic of Ctenophora. The presence of a special sense organ, statocytes, at the opposite end of mouth that is avoral end is the characteristic of Ctenophora. Question 37. Cystocircus larva of Tinea develops in. The Cystocircus larva of Tinea develops in pig. The Cystocircus larva of Tinea develops in pig. Question 38. Free swimming ciliated larva of liver fluke is. The free swimming ciliated larva of liver fluke is Miracidium. The free swimming ciliated larva of liver fluke is Miracidium. Question 39. One example of animals having a single opening to the outside that serves both as a mouth as well as anus is. An example of animals having a single opening to the outside that serves both as mouth as well as anus is fasciola. An example of animals having a single opening to the outside that serves both as mouth as well as anus is fasciola. Question 40. In contrast to annelids, the platyhelminthes shows. In contrast to annelids, the platyhelminthes shows absence of body cavity. In contrast to annelids, the platyhelminthes shows absence of body cavity. Question 41. Which of the following is not a digenetic worm? First, Fasciola, Vaucariatenia, Introbius. Introbius is not a digenetic worm. Introbius is not a digenetic worm. Question 42. The characteristics of a tapeworm are large quadrate sculex without rostillum and hooks. B. Primary host man and secondary host cattle. C. Length 5 to 10 meters. Select the option that correctly identifies the tapeworm. Tapeworm Tinea sezinata का यह कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है लार्ज quadrate sculex without rostillum and hooks, primary host man and secondary host cattle, length 5 to 10 meters. Question 43. The secondary host of Vaucaria that transmits filariasis is? The secondary host of Vaucaria that transmits filariasis is Culex. The secondary host of Vaucaria that transmits filariasis is Culex. Question 44. Which of the following is not a characteristic feature of phylum Nemathelminths? Options are bilateral symmetry, triploblastic pseudocoelomate. Second, they are mostly enteroparasites. Third, the false body cavity allows body wall muscles and digestive tract muscles to act independently of each other. And fourth, आप पढ़ करके जवाब दीजिए. The body wall has longitudinal muscles, circular muscles, and an elastic cuticle is not a characteristic feature of phylum Nemathelminthus. Question 45. An individual bathing in an infected pool or coming in contact with contaminated water is liable to be infected with dash dash. The dash dash larva stick to the surface of the skin of swimmer or bather and penetrate the skin. An individual bathing in an infected pool or coming in contact with contaminated water is liable to be infected with by Hargia. The Sarkaria larva stick to the surface of the skin of swimmer or bather and penetrate the skin. An individual bathing in an infected pool or coming in contact with contaminated water is liable to be infected with by Hargia. The Sarkaria larva stick to the surface of the skin of swimmer or bather and penetrate the skin. Question 46. Which of the following type of nephridia are not found in earthworm? Options are septal nephridia, pharyngeal protonephridia, integumentary nephridia, and fourth protonephridia. The protonephridia are not found in earthworm. Question 47. Body of insect is divisible into? The body of insect is divisible into head, thorax, and abdomen. The body of insect is divisible into head, thorax, and abdomen. Question 48. Excretory organs of arthropods are? The excretory organs of arthropods are green gland and Malpighian tubules. The excretory organs of arthropods are green gland and Malpighian tubules. Question 49. John Stone's organ present in mosquitoes are to detect vibrations they are present in? The John Stone's organ present in mosquitoes are to detect vibrations are present in antenna. The John Stone's organ present in mosquitoes are to detect vibrations are present in antenna. Question 50. Select the correct match with respect to type of metamorphosis involved. बताइए पिल्यूरो मेटाबोलस की मैचिंग किससे होगी? जी हाँ, प्लूरोमेटाबोलस की मैचिंग ग्रासहोपर से होगी। जी हाँ, प्लूरोमेटाबोलस की मैचिंग ग्रासहोपर से होगी। हेमीमोटाबोलस की मैचिंग जी हाँ, हेमीमेटाबोलस की मैचिंग ड्रैगन फ्लाई से होगी। जी हाँ, हेमीमेटाबोलस की मैचिंग ड्रैगन फ्लाई से होगी। होलोमेटाबोलस की जी हाँ, होलोमेटाबोलस की मैचिंग सिल्कवर्म से होगा। जी हाँ, होलोमेटाबोलस की मैचिंग सिल्कवर्म से होगा। अमीटाबोलस की मैचिंग जी हाँ, अमीटाबोलस की मैचिंग सिल्वर फिश से होगा। जी हाँ, अमीटाबोलस की मैचिंग सिल्वर फिश से होगा। Question 51. In which of the following arthropods the eggs hatch within the female body and they bring forth the young alive? जी हाँ, Buthus is that arthropods in which eggs hatch within the female body and they bring forth the young alive. जी हाँ, Buthus is that arthropods in which eggs hatch within the female body and they bring forth the young alive. Question 52. In which of the following arthropods the development is plurometabolous? The Periplaneta is that arthropods in which development is plurometabolous. The Periplaneta is that arthropods in which development is plurometabolous. Question 53. In honeybees, the butterflies and gustatory and olfactory receptors are located respectively on जी हाँ, in honeybees and butterflies, the gustatory and olfactory receptors are located fit antennae respectively. जी हाँ, in honeybees and butterflies, the gustatory and olfactory receptors are located fit antennae respectively. Question 54. Which set includes arthropods of economic importance providing useful products to human? जी हाँ, set includes arthropods of economic importance providing useful products to man is Apis bombyx lacifer. जी हाँ, set includes arthropods of economic importance providing useful products to man is Apis bombyx lacifer. Question 55. Butterfly can be distinguished from a moth in that the former exhibit जी हाँ, butterfly can be distinguished from a moth in that the former exhibit antennae are long with globose end and diurnal. जी हाँ, butterfly can be distinguished from a moth in that the former exhibit antennae are long with globose end and diurnal. Question 56. Radula is जी हाँ, radula is file-like rasping organ of mollusks. जी हाँ, radula is file-like rasping organ of mollusks. Question 57. In which group of mollusks torsion is a very important event in the life history? जी हाँ, Phyla is that group of mollusks in which torsion is a very important event in the life history. जी हाँ, Phyla is that group of mollusks in which torsion is a very important event in the life history. Question 58. Which one of the following is not a feature of phylum Mollusca? Options are: first, larvae are bilaterally symmetrical, but in some forms in adult, the twisting of viscera makes them lose in symmetry. Second, digestive system is complete and digestion is extracellular. The mental cavity encloses gills. And fourth, organ of Bosana's and Cavor's organ are used for respiration. The not feature of phylum Mollusca is organ of Bosana's and Cavor's organ are used for respiration. Question 59. Tube feet are characteristic structures of the tube feet are the characteristic structures of a starfish. The tube feet are the characteristic structures of a starfish. Question 60. Which of the following is not a character of phylum Hemichordata? Options are: excretory organ is proboscis gland, circulatory system is open, respiration takes place through gills, and fourth, origins of a stomachode which is mesodermal in origin. They are not a character of phylum Hemichordata is presence of a stomachode which is mesodermal in origin.